Hello, 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 friend. Welcome to another episode of Health and Faith Chat with Chinedu. Hope you had an amazing day and getting ready for the weekend. So today I won't be very long. We're going to talk about basically 3 mental health tips for moms. If you are a mom like me, you know how busy you are. But what I'm going to talk about are things that we should already be doing. Just a reminder that we are doing these things because it's important that we as moms take care of ourselves because we need to be the best version of ourselves for our kids, our family, and everyone else around. Because as a mom, of course, you're a caregiver. And as other caregivers, you're busy taking care of other people most of the time. So it is important, however, that we implement these practical steps. And so my first tip for us moms is to practice self-care. And I know that this is really a very common term, practice self-care. But get this, you have to schedule it in. It's not going to happen unless you actually have to put it on your schedule. Like if you're like me, I put everything on my schedule. If it's not on my schedule, it's not going to happen. So you have to put, whether you call it your me time, you have to put it in your schedule and protect that time. So usually what I start doing when I come back from work, I have my 1 hour, and actually it's funny. My kids now say, Mom, are you having your me time? So, so whatever you want to call it, practice doing it, but really put it on your schedule if you want it to get done. Because you know how things come up and then you just kind of things take over. But if you have that set time, you are more likely to just practice your me time, self-care, whatever you want to call it. So that is important for us to implement in our lives. And number 2 tip for moms for your mental well-being is that you don't be afraid to say no. I said that today to one of my children. Don't be afraid to say no. But not just to your kids, but to things, because you have to say no to some things so that you can say yes to the most important things. And I think there's actually a book somewhere, The Best Yes or something like that. But anyway, you have to make sure that you're saying the best yes, meaning that means saying no to some things that are really not that important. And I've been guilty of saying yes to some things that I traded for things that were more important. I'm like, why did I say yes to this? Because this other yes is actually more important than this yes. So say the best yes. So hopefully you understand what I mean. Make sure that you are saying yes to the right things that are most important to you. Okay, because you can't do everything. But don't be afraid to say no, so that you can save time, your energy for the things that really matter the most. Is really good for your mental well-being as a mom. Okay, and the third thing is to ask for help, right? And on this note, I'm going to remind you that the Bible even tells us that. It says, ask, right, and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So ask for help. And saying that, probably I may also be guilty of this because sometimes, especially with your kids or just people, you're like, well, it's just easy. I can just get it done. It's just easier for me to get it done, right? But then that's also, it tends to make your plate get, heavier and heavier. You can ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. People are there and they're more than willing to help. Especially, let me say this, your children. There's a reason that God gave you those children. Train them. Allow them to help you. And I remember I come from a generation where the older kids help to train the little one. Basically what mom and dad says, it passes on. The older ones take the lead to make sure that it passes to the younger ones. So they kind of help along the way. So get your kids involved in helping you in doing whatever needs to be done so that you're not just doing it. So all of this is going to be important for your mental health and well-being. Practicing self-care. Schedule your me time. Number 2, don't be afraid to say no so that you can save your energy time for something much better that you can say yes to. The third thing is don't be afraid to ask for help. People are willing, they're ready to help you. But sometimes we just want to do it, right? Because we're super mom. So I wanted to remind us that because it's important. Why? These are mental health tips, because sometimes mental health can manifest as just, not only fatigue, poor sleep, you can just get irritable. So it manifests in physical symptoms that you don't even know that that's what's going on. So I think when we start to take a toll of where our energy is going, the things that we're doing, and making sure that we are taking care of ourselves, I think we're going to be in a better mental state to help take care of other people, as moms, as businesswomen, as working women. So all of that is important, that we take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others, the people that we love. At the end of the day, some things that we think are really that important are not really that important. So we need to assess where our time and energy is going. Because I always say this, like this will be my last tip, at the end of the day, I hate to say this, but even at the end of your life, those at the end of their life, if you were to ask them at that moment, what mattered to you the most? They're not going to say this job or that business or whatever. It is about relationship. Life is about relationships. So my tip is that the things that matter most are relationships. So let's make sure that we're nurturing those with our children, with the people that we love, making sure that keeping the main thing. At the end of the day, relationship, focusing on that. So don't worry if the house is not perfect, the laundry is not perfect, the dishes are not perfect. As moms, take care of yourself so that you can take care of those that you love. And so self-care is critical for our mental health and well-being, so that we can be better suited for what God has called us to do. And that our life will be meaningful, rich, fulfilling, and that we can be our best so that we can accomplish all that God has in store for us. Okay? Mental health is important. So take on these tips. Let's apply them so that we can be better. And not only for ourselves, but for other people. Okay? Until next time. Take care. Bye-bye.